We're on? Thank you so much, Maria. All right, we have something, so we'll wait 3 minutes because right now we actually don't have a quorum. We're gonna wait for one more person to call it.
Clock is wrong.
Yeah, that clock is not fast. It used to be slow, now it's fast.
Power outages yesterday, like
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah, 7:58. All right. Well, I guess got a message from somebody. Let's see who that is. Joe. Oh, boy.
Yeah. So what did I get? Signed up, it's just 25 years?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, congratulations.
Just crossed that threshold a couple of days ago.
That's a good mark, a good landmark.
It's a pretty good one, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Time flies when you're having fun,
There's
Absolutely.
Michael. All right, we have a quorum. Hey, Michael.
Hello, Bill. How you doing? Hey, Paul.
Good,
Good morning.
buddy.
Hey, Mike.
Morning.
Good morning.
Six, yeah, quorum. There's
Like,
six.
1, 2, 3,
Four
4,
here.
5,
So I have to.
6. Yeah, we're 6.
I
We're
can't
quorum.
follow through on my threat.
We're quorum, and we have, yes. no, we're quorum. 7:59. We'll wait one more minute and right on the bell.
You don't want to be early.
No, because I'm never early for anything.
I'm searching.
Joe was supposed to be calling in also.
Oh, I hope that he doesn't have to call in. He said he's sick, his wife's sick, his daughter's sick, everybody's sick. Yeah.
He's all good.
Yeah. I mean, he sounded terrible on Monday. He sounded terrible.
So,
So-
yeah, he's actually it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Not on the backside, his
Yeah.
wife and his son, or his wife and daughter on the backside.
He's
still
still
going
going.
around.
Well, at least it didn't happen on Christmas or on Thanksgiving. For my grandkids, it's like clockwork. Thanksgiving, everybody's throwing up, you know. And you can't hide that from the other relatives, you know what I mean? It's, yeah.
I'll recycle.
All right, it's 8:00. Let's open we'll call the meeting to order. This meeting of the Police Department Building Committee on December 12th. Roll call, we have a quorum. That's good. Were there any public comments?
No.
Usually, I think Joe would answer that, but if there were, I think they would send them to me. So let's just say there aren't. Minutes, that's another thing we're just going to buzz through, but they really didn't make it out the other day. And I don't want to bother Joe. So we will postpone the approval of the minutes. So we're right up at the 4 already. I mean, it's amazing how much faster things move when Joe's not here bogging it down. Ty, you ready for an update, sir?
Sure.
Thanks.
So I handed out the monthly report and I'll hit some of the highlights and then we'll defer to Scott to walk you through some photos. We had a big month last month, over $2 million of work in place. Our target was 2.2, so we're a little under that, but and this month continues to have a lot of work going on. Our target this month is 2.6. My guess is that's going to flatten out a little bit and push into January, particularly with the holiday. We lose, the end of that last week is going to be kind of thin, but a lot of good progress. I think the big news is that we have all the brick on the building now, just sliding in under the weather. And
how does it look?
Looks good.
Right, looks good.
Yeah.
The match is,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. Good. Well done, Brian. You picked a good color there.
And so the mason still has some work. They still have to do a wash down. We still have to remove the paint off the back, but their acronym is pretty much off the bubble now, and they're doing some interior finishes, little onesie twosies. I would say Grasso is probably our biggest challenge right now with the weather and getting across the finish line with paving. They've been working hard in the EMS area over the weekend. They worked both Saturday and Sunday, and the rain hasn't helped us, but so the target is to pave that before the 20th. next week.
That's
And
close.
yeah, it's gonna be nip and tuck.
We got a couple warm days.
Yeah, we got 3 days of rain next week too. Yeah.
Looks like you guys did a good job catching up. I see on the schedule versus working plates. Well done.
Yep. Yep. And it varies day to day, but we're in the high 50s, low 60s in terms of manpower. And all the rooftop units have been set. And we're putting carpet on the top floor, the upper level. And a lot of progress. We're finishing taping, getting ready for painting on the main level. And the lower level, the lockers have gone in and it looks, much more finished. All the tiles done, lockers are in, and getting close to starting the epoxy floor in the cell area and painting in general down the lower level. So I think we're in a good spot. The real challenge is going to be buttoning up the site. And with that, I think I can turn it over to Scott to give you a little bit more granular walkthrough. I don't see anybody. Oh, there we go.
All right, you can hear me now? We're there?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
All right, so yeah, so we got, like Ty said, a lot of good stuff going on. Our main focus has really been the outside, but certainly let's walk through the inside. So this is the lower level. We're parging the walls now, getting them prepared for the finished skim coat. So that gets the plaster look, allows us to plaster and paint the inside of the area. This is the lower level looking towards the fitness center. All right. The next one is again down on the lower level, women's locker room. Tile is up. The tile is on the floor underneath that blue protectant. The sink countertop is in, and we're ready for to start receiving the sinks and the mirrors and progressing. These are the lockers that have gone into the women's locker room. We just kind of set them there. They're not finished yet. We just kind of set them in place. The ceiling is up, getting ready to receive light fixtures and heat panels. So we're moving pretty good there in the women's locker room. This here is another shot of the stairs. As you start looking, we're plastering the area and putting the finish coat on the stairs as we go up where the old brick was. So we're kind of starting to button up the interior mess of the stairs and the stucco plaster process. This is the main lobby. So we've got here, this is the first delivery of 3 for the roof shingles. We just got to keep them tempered. So it's warmer in the building than outside. They are blended in their packages, so they come blended so they can pick out randomly, install the colors. And as you can see, we got the bullet resistant window at the transaction dispatch area there. So we're moving along and proceeding in that area there, like Ty says, getting ready for the next round of finishes. This is upstairs. So we've got the new paint on the walls down the corridor. That's the Let It Rain blue. Carpet is down and protected on the upper level. And now we're up there again, finishing up painting, getting ready to receive the millwork around the window trim in there. I believe this is
admin upstairs.
This is the admin area where admin sits. With the new carpet down and just again getting ready for the wood window trim as we prepare for the next phase of finishes upstairs. Stepping out onto the roof. This is a view from the low roof, which is the canopy, looking to the west. All the brick is up on the side of the building there. The windows are in. That is the new addition you're looking at low. And on the upper side, you can see the rooftop units are set, and also lower rooftop unit. We're going to finish setting the last few little condenser units that you see in the cardboard boxes there. We're going to set those today. Crane's coming out. And all the roofing material, you can see those stacks of white. Those white piles are all the roofing material is ready to get installed. The upper slope roof is where we're starting to install the, we've been working on the copper gutters, copper flashing, all the copper pieces, the underlayment. And now we're getting ready to install the shingles themselves. We're going to work on the front side of the building with the shingles, and then we're going to roll to the back side of the shingles while we start the flat low roof over the Sallyport area, which is this right in the picture here on the left-hand side. This is just looking from South Street on the north side. Just again, kind of representation. We're preparing to pour the the concrete detectable warning strips at the sidewalks, left and right. So that's formed for the concrete. We have a bunch of the curbs are in. We're working the curbs around and going to continue the curb work around the front of the building, and just continue grading and getting the site ready. This is the, again, unfortunately, the rainy days here, but this is the southwest corner of the building. Light bollards are going in. Those are the light bollards going in the front as we prepare to get ready for the sidewalk pour. You see the little retaining wall there on the side. That there's a retaining wall is in, and then working down the side, you can see a little bit in the area right down in here where we're starting to get the landings for this door, where this door comes, the landing of the concrete down in that door area. But a lot of good things going on outside as well. This is looking
EMS.
northwest on EMS Drive. You can see the brick is basically done. The aprons are done there in front of the Sally Port, and we're preparing to start getting our louvers in and our exterior exhaust fans. We're starting to get the Sally Port doors are coming this late this week, early next week to start installing the Sally Port doors. And again, we continue the grading and start really cleaning up the site. And you can see the soffit also, the soffit fascia is got in now that the brick is done. We just continue that around to neaten that up as well on the upper side. This is the garage side. This is the looking south. Again, the garage is done. This is the these are the two storage bays. As we, again, just to continue now that the brick is done, we can finish our trim work up top. And then, tighten up the expansion joints, do some control joint caulking. There's a couple, the little hole you see there is where we had the scaffold tied back to the building. So you put a little infill brick there now that you took the scaffold down. So a lot of good stuff on the left-hand side. You can see we're going to finish the soffit now. The brick's done. We're wrapping the soffit around to tie back in. So a lot of, again, a lot of good stuff outside. And that it basically kind of gives us a 360 view of what's going on outside. Couple sample pictures of upstairs and downstairs, which was locker rooms and corridor. The fitness room is just getting ready for ceilings. And then I could show you a boiler room. We got a lot of work still in the boiler room done, but you kind of don't recognize it because it's just a bunch of pipes. So I didn't think it was timely to show that view. But other than that, we're in good shape and really, like Ty said, starting to really start getting into the hot and heavy in the finish.
Scott, I have a question. I'm going to assume that if you could have matched the brickwork with the original, you would have, but that just wasn't available, right?
Yeah, this is the brick that was picked. I defer to Brian on that comment.
Okay.
The-
Hey, Brian or Ty.
The existing building will lighten up once we wash it down a little bit, so it won't be quite as much contrast, but.
Yeah. But I mean, that brick wasn't available in that, I don't know what the brick market looks like.
Yeah, I just defer to Brian on that
Yeah.
one.
Brian, you want to chime in?
Yeah, we had multiple brick suppliers come down and try to match, and everybody brought their best match, and we had probably 5 to choose from. And of the 5, this one was the closest match to what we had in the existing building.
Thank you.
The good news is that this brick can't be seen from the road or from the front of the building. It's all hidden on the back.
Right.
So.
Yep.
And I was there and I believe because Brian and I looked at the 5 choices and it was quite clear. This was the closest.
Right.
I will say the sample looked closer than it does now. There's no doubt about that, but it is what it is. Scott, also, I noticed the worker safety record continues to be stellar. Thank you very much. Very proud of that. I'm sure you're very proud of that as well. And also another shout out to the EMTs, Tom, who have been very patient. Very patient, and particularly these last few weeks. It's been very difficult, and that's very much appreciated by the committee.
Yeah, I'd like to second that as well. Alec has been great, and the team has been supportive, so we appreciate it. The weather has kind of drives us what we can and can't do, so certainly I'm staying in touch with Alec, and again, thank you to the EMS team.
I'll extend that and just remind you, we need to resod that front lawn where the rigs have been parked for the last 2 weeks.
10-4.
Another contingency money going out the door. All right. Are there any other comments for or questions for Scott? Before we go through the orders?
Got what are any of your major concerns left at this point?
No, our concerns are weather, an uncontrolled item that certainly we are working Saturdays and Sundays, pushing through, to get the work done. You know, we had great weather, and now when we get down to the fine tuning of the little bits and pieces, it really affects us more. It affects us more. The only other chase is the transformer, is the uncertainty with Eversource. We are communicating back and forth with as many emails as possible without disrupting the apple cart. It is a little sensitive in when you start dealing with the utilities and you have multiple people coming at them with different questions from different angles. Certainly try to maintain one line of communication, but we are communicating, and we are hoping to get some answers back with the transformer. That is going to be a key point to us getting our place conditioned and getting the startup and commissioning going.
Okay.
Were all the easements taken care of?
All the information was passed back and forth
Yeah.
between the town and Eversource, and we believe that is a non-issue anymore. It's been resolved, or it has been answered and agreed to. So that's not one of our challenges that we're working on here.
Yeah, we're really just waiting to get the date for installation as far as we know. So,
And that's something that Eversource puts in, correct? We
Yeah,
don't put that in.
yeah, it's the intercommunication between the finance department, the engineering department, the installation department, the removal department. It's a lot of different parts.
They probably just bought the, $1 million new logistics software that's going to make this all much more an efficient process, but they can't get it up and running. Be my guess.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll just note also, since Joe is not here, nor Tiger, we just did have a visit from the New Canaanite newspaper stopped by yesterday. I guess there was a lot of public inquiry as to what's going on behind the curtain. So from direction from Tiger, he just took a stop by and took a look. So I'm assuming somewhere there's going to be a note in the newspaper somewhere, just recognizing what we got going on here.
As Tiger well knows, there's no such thing as a free cup of coffee, is there, Tiger?
I hear you.
Okay, we'll start running through the numbers. So on the PCO log, the first item, number 1, I think you probably maybe remember us talking about a phone that we have to now put outside the elevator so that if there's a handicapped person, they can call and let somebody know that they're not in the elevator, they're outside. And so at one point, we thought that might have been handled directly by the town, but now it's been put back into our side. So we've added that $27,000 to do that. We proposed an alternate system. Maybe it was going to be a little less expensive, but this is the number I think we're carrying, which is the specified.
To put a phone outside on all 3 levels, is that
Yep.
something? So that's the part of the 27,000.
Actually, I think it might be just because the other levels you can get to grade. So I think it might just be on the upper level.
Just the upper level. 27. Yeah.
And low level as well. Low level and up. I think it's all 3 level.
All 3 levels? Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, can I ask a question? Is that an actual physical pickup phone or is it like a video phone? Because like if you're handicapped and you might have trouble reaching it. I mean, is it like an intercom system or what is it? Actual
I haven't actually seen it, but Larry, maybe you can.
Yeah, it's a two-way communication system, similar to what you have inside the elevator. Now their new code is requiring them outside also, outside the elevator. So it's a two-way communication to a 24/7 answering point for the lower floor, the upper floor.
Ryan, who are you communicating with on the other end of the phone?
It could be just dispatch in the PD. It has to go to a 24/7 answering point.
Okay.
It's redundant with some inside the elevator, I've seen, so.
But in a fire situation, the elevators shut down and go to the lowest floor.
Yeah.
So depending on the timing, you know, they could be stranded on the upper level.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Jumping down to, oh, I've got an old one here. I think it's the next one. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so this is just the 65,000. This is from jacking up the building, and this just moved from approximate to pending. Jumping over to the next page, number 81, that's the impound camera that just moved from pending to approved. You'll also notice the original number was 21, so it came down, but significantly. Security equipment replacement. This is actually a deduct of $10,000. This was a switch that we were looking at, and the specified model was discontinued, and the replacement was coming in very high. So now the town is going to provide it, and so we're removing the funds that we were holding for that in the project. Number 85, transformer relocation, that just went from pending to approved. Same thing for 89. And then at the bottom, we have some new items. The first one is just we had a temporary stair getting to the roof. That's a general requirements item. That's within our side of the budget, so that's why you don't see any dollars to that. Louver and steel coordination. This is a contingency item. This is just coordinating with existing steel. We'll see that later when we get into the review the contingency. So certain door openings, coordinating with existing steel and or block thickness. Again, that'll show up in the holds. The laminate in the day room colors were changed. We just have a $5,000 plug for that in the approximate. And then an ASI for some door revisions, another plug. This is putting the windows in the doors for the two rooms that don't have windows so that they get a little bit more light.
So that was the final answer, just put them in the doors.
Actually, yeah, whether it's a new door or we just cut a window into the existing. We'll figure that out. Okay, now jumping into the holds and getting into the detail a little bit more. In the PCO log, you didn't necessarily see the numbers. So the first one, we had to do some additional floor prep at the ADA shower. So cutting into the slab. So that's a piece of that. Grouting a base plate, some of the new steel. That's the remainder of that hold. Floor prep. Oh, this is the remainder that we put against a different hold item from the first one we talked about at the ADA shower. Then we have several masonry bits and pieces of patching of existing masonry and other detailing within the existing building, which are the next three items.
Mean that those that are covered by the holes?
Yes.
Put in place, so
Yeah.
they're all previously covered.
Right. These are funds that we had in the GMP for surprises. There are things that we thought dealing with an old building that we might have to do. So it doesn't increase the price. A bituminous coating on the hollow metal frames. It was in the drawings, but we didn't know how many frames, so we just had a hold for that, and that's that went from approximate to pending. Again, a few more masonry type items with new lintels that we needed to support openings, particularly with some of the MEP coordination that we had to do with large duct openings. You just can't cut the block. You got to put something to support the block above it. Revised door frames due to existing conditions. We touched on that before. This is the actual dollar value. And this is just the modify window framing blocking. This is just going from, this is a new item, but this is the final number. It came down a little bit. And that will be moving forward. So overall, let's see, where are we now? Last page. Last page is just various premium time items that we've had, again, to push things along, coming down through the home stretch here and taking advantage of some weather opportunities. And we had a hold for that, knowing that we're going to be spending some time on premium time. And last page. These are various electrical items. We had certain components such as a control panel and whatnot that wasn't shown on the drawings, but obviously needed to be connected. So, and some grounding and things like that. So again, we used a hold for that. Most importantly, we still have $203,000 left in the holds for the past couple of months. So again, if you look at our burn rate, we're burning a little bit more now, but we've got a lot of, a lot of money still in the bucket. So I think we feel good about that.
What's premium time? Is that overtime?
Overtime, yeah,
Overtime.
working Saturdays and Sundays.
Sounds better than overtime.
Yeah, yeah.
So realistic, you think we might get 150 back out of that?
I think you got to look at holds and contingency together. And I think we're going to be, if I had to guess, we're going to be in the 400 range.
Good.
For both of those.
Good.
Yep.
That's your contingency.
Yes.
Yes, good.
Allowances, we just had one hit there, a new number for some hole patching in an existing floor. We are going to have, just sort of brought to mind, the existing hallway that butts up to the new addition is kind of like a roller coaster. So we're going to have to flash patch that. That'll be coming up once we get into the flooring in that area. Then the last is the contingency. Again, we've had, several items hit our contingency in the past month as Larry's sort of going through his bucket of costs. First one, again, this is the lintels that we talked about for MEP penetrations throughout. That went from approximate to pending. These are the bunch of the electrical work that we touched on. The next series of things, not a lot of money, but several items. Then we come down to cupola base abatement. Again, that just went from pending to approved. Generator storage, pending to approved. Switchgear, ATS and switchgear rigging, again, pending to approved. And then some of the new ones, the items that are yellow on the left are new items. We had to prepare for the expansion joint again because of the irregularities between the existing building and the new building. We had to sort of clean that up to accept the expansion joint that goes between those. So that's the 6704. Louver and steel coordination. We had to order a new louver for going into the mechanical room, and but we're able to use the existing louver somewhere else. But we did have to rebuy that louver because of the existing condition sizing. Exterior light circuiting. This is with the light poles added an extra circuit so that we could have power as well as the light on a light. So if you want to plug something in, but that required an additional circuit pulling out there. That's $5,000 there. Bituminous coating, we talked about that already. patch existing ceiling, at the upper, this is the drywall ceiling that's above our ceiling. There's just some various patching of that. And 16, that's the patching of the ceiling. Patch existing walls and ditch patch. Again, we had to sort of route into the walls to put in a lot of new mechanical and electrical stuff, mostly electrical. So that's patching up the existing walls that basically says existing to remain. So there was certainly more work than we had thought, but that's why it's in our contingency. Cut and reframe lintels, again, more MEP coordination stuff. Front entrance sprinkler enclosure. We had to, I think, build a soffit to get the sprinkler line up into the canopy over the front entrance. Some premium time. New countertop. That one, I'm not sure. But Larry, what's the countertop issue here?
So we have to build two horizontal kind of counter because of we do get the ductwork routing from lower level to upper level.
Okay.
Because of a steel location, we couldn't tie to the existing wall. We have to bump out a little bit. So that me and Brian worked on building a couple of counter horizontal surface. So we adding countertop on top of the sheetrock. So make it like on a purpose, making building a counter in those two rooms.
Gotcha. Again, the challenges of working in and around an existing building in the walls. Reframe openings for the record room. Again, coordinating the lintel for holding up the old terracotta block. Main and upper level duct risers. Again, this is all related to the MEP coordination and reframe perimeter soffits for a conduit enclosure. So a little bit of an adjustment here in the contingency. We were at 430. We're now down to 380. So just cleaning house on the accounting side. But again, that's all within the GMP, and we still have $380,000 left in that bucket.
Plus the holes.
Yes, plus the holes. Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions?
Hey, is Gene on or who else is on?
Yeah. Gene, are you out there?
Yeah. Can you see me?
Where you go? Yeah, I got you.
I know it's that invisible. My slim profile, probably.
I didn't know it was tie day. Everybody's got ties on. Look, you with a tie. Brian's got a tie.
Just for our #1 customers. Just
Oh,
for
no. I feel naked.
let me share my screen.
I am a tie, so I didn't wear one.
He is a tie, right?
You used that before.
Three, yeah. Okay, you seeing my screen?
There we go. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so my report, just a qualifier, is probably a day ahead of what Ty reported. So some of the numbers are a little bit off based off some of the updates that Ty just reported. But generally speaking, on our soft cost, we have $886,000 of owner's contingency as of Wednesday. And that's about a $25,000 reduction from what we had reported last time. And this really funded some of the items that Ty had just mentioned. But between, the owner's contingency and the remaining construction contingency, we're about roughly $1.2 million. So still pretty good shape there. Otherwise, nothing really too exciting to report. Obviously, the big item, as Scott had mentioned, is really getting that building watertight and the transformer piece, which, we know are the two, getting the building watertight, weather dependent, but obviously it's a critical path to getting a lot of the finishes done, and the transformer to get power on so they can start firing up systems, testing, balancing, as Scott had mentioned too. So I think overall it looks pretty good. I'm going to jump down to the cash flow. So we plotted Ty's new cash flow curve, which is really from this point forward going into the completion of the project, really March. It's end of February, I would say, but there's always tailing kind of invoices that start to pile in. And we plotted the November requisition, which was very close to target, new target. We're at 73% complete from a dollar expenditure standpoint. Total store to date of about $15.4 million. And we'll start to see some soft costs starting to come into play here very soon as furniture starts to arrive later in the first quarter of 25. I think, any questions on that?
Just want to comment relative to weather tight. We don't have the final roofs on, but we do have the ice and water shield over the main building and a temporary roof over the addition. So we are, especially with the heavy rains we've had, we are tight.
Good. Okay.
Minor, drips, but really for the
Slate's been totally removed.
slates, the old shingles were removed, but the ice and water shield, which is really the protective
right.
membrane, is down, and we have all the new tile is not slate. It's actually a faux slate.
I know
It's a
that.
plastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're tracking the changes as we see, and this is fairly consistent. This is consistent with the last requisition that was submitted earlier in December for their November application, and we've recorded up to PCO 92. We did pick up the elevator phone of the $27,000, so that's included in this budget right now. The only thing that's not encumbered were the two $5,000 charges on PCO 104 and 105. Questions?
Sounds good.
It seems like we're in good shape.
Yeah,
With
very good shape.
everything.
Thank you, Gene. Brian, you have a comments at all?
Well, this is where it gets exciting for me because in the next couple months, it's all final finishes. So it's going to be a flurry of activity, but I think it's going to be exciting to see it all come together the way we envisioned it, and looking forward to it. We did have a good meeting with the roofer before they put down the imitation slate. And that roof, just to reiterate, it comes with a 50-year warranty, but everybody indicates that this is a lifetime product for the building. So we're going to prepare this roof for the next 100 years, really, for giving you a nice slate look, but also a 50+ year solution for that main roof. So the products that we're using are durable and attractive, and I think when everybody sees it in the next couple months, I hope you are pleased.
What percent of the windows have been replaced with the?
We haven't put the new sashes in yet.
Okay.
We want to wait till we do the wash down of the brick.
Okay.
So that any kind of etching that might occur happens on the old stuff, the stuff we're throwing away.
A quick question.
But I'm sorry, they have all the windows at Ring's End, so
Right.
we're just waiting. We'll just get them delivered.
Who inspects this building at the end? Just the town? Does the state come in?
State does not. There might be some interface with 911 stuff, but as far as the building, it's the town. Then we have a commissioning team that comes in and looks at the MEP functioning. And then obviously the design team.
So there's no overriding state police they don't have to put a stamp on it or anything like that. Obviously, the communications they do, but not for the building itself. Is that fair?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of, there's no state certification. We're meeting with the state, all of our stakeholders and partners for the 911 PSAP move. We're having all hands on deck meeting next week scheduled. We're meeting today with our town IT folks. Next week, we're meeting with all of the AT&T, the state, all of the Norcom to move the radio and the 911 equipment. That's starting next week, because that was a significant move over to 39 Locust, and it's going to be another significant move back. So we're starting that process now.
And overall, the reports say February 17th, if you assume, early March. That's good as any?
Yep. As we said, Eversource is really our key right now to doing that. We have some temporary heat. The old temporary heaters that we had last winter, we brought back. They're just electric heaters. Right now, it's keeping us comfortable inside. But we really want to start up the permit systems and test those out and get on that system.
Once you get in late February, and then you have this period where you have to, what would you call it, commissioning the building or whatever, right? So how long do you expect that would take?
It varies depending on what they find, but the commissioning process, they come in and they'll spend 2 or 3 days going through and testing out stuff. A lot of it's done sort of, digitally through the BMS system,
right?
Putting it through its paces. And then we have to react to those comments. So it's probably a month or so overall, but the building will still be comfortable and it's able to be occupied.
Yeah.
Very often that happens after occupancy.
I mean, I'd heard numbers like 3 to 4 months between when you're sort of in the building and when you actually can open it and make it useful.
Well, there's the FF&E side.
Right.
I mean, we will get a TCO, a temporary certificate of occupancy,
right?
Well ahead of when you're actually going to occupy it.
Right. Okay. So it's 3 or 4 months still is a window you're looking at.
Yeah, I'd have to defer to the PD and what how quickly they're going to schedule their move and whatnot.
Right.
And the FF&E.
The first move, remember, the building committee tried to stay out of the way of the people who are actually doing the moving and doing the planning, right? It was basically the town and the police department. On the way back in, of course, we'll do anything that helps move the ball forward and makes other people's lives easier. But the last thing we want to be is an impediment to your progress. So we're here. And if there's anything we should be doing as you guys start that process, please let us know.
Yeah, like I said, the big driver of that's going to be the 911 system. Once we can start answering the phones there, that'll be kind of when we can significantly move in and be more of a permanent presence.
Yeah, the TCO allows the PD to start moving in, and it also has as the furniture comes in, it gets set up and it gets connected. And so there's a move in that can happen, even though there may not be an occupancy, just because of what Tiger just mentioned. But the idea of a final certificate of occupancy usually comes after all that's settled in. They can make sure that we haven't obstructed egress and that everything still looks appropriate, and they'll issue a final certificate. That's when you're officially able to have the building fully commissioned and occupied, but it doesn't prevent you from occupying it during a TCO.
Yeah, and we have some work that will definitely have to wait till spring, landscaping, and maybe the top coat of paving. It sort of depends on how that shakes out over the next couple of weeks.
And painting the new directional lines, arrows for so as people try to get used to the new
The flow reversal.
yeah, the new flow reversal. Thank you.
And then go back to talking about the gate.
Yeah. Anything else for Brian or Gene?
There's one more thing. This is Joe. Just the schedule for the meetings for next year. We're to keep it the 2nd and the 4th Thursday at the same time.
I've
schedule
asked
them
around a few people, and I think everybody's still on board with that. So that would put our next meeting at January 9th. And then the 23rd.
So I'll schedule them out too, like Thanksgiving or till I know it's probably much more than we need, but then we don't have to have special meetings. We'll just cancel them when we're done.
Yep. Thank you, Joe.
Joe, put in the whole year. It's much easier to cancel than to initiate.
Okay.
Most importantly, you get better, buddy.
Thank you.
Is there anything else? Before we adjourn? Well, Lisa will approve the minutes next time. So
2 minutes next time.
2 minutes next time. So January 9th, all right?
Okay,
All
well.
right.
Good.
Merry
Motion to
Merry
adjourn.
Christmas.
Thank you. Happy
Motion to
holidays.
adjourn. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.